Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to KVM World Travel. Now we're going to take another flight in our regional series with our 737 MAX. Now just before I start, I've got to tell you the CRJ, I was having problems with it. It was crashing to desktop and it was bad, okay? And then my desktop would freeze up, so I'm not sure if it was the game, the simulator, or the aircraft, but the CRJ was having problems. I went to try and find updates. I found some more updates for the actual game, Flight Sim 2020. Did that, and still the CRJ was performing very, very badly. So I've parked her up in our hangar, just around the back of San Diego Airport, in our maintenance area. And that's where she's going to stay for now until I have solved those problems. But we are back with the beautiful 737 MAX. It just continually gets better. After I found these couple of little updates for the game for Flight Sim 2020, I noticed some differences in my 737, and they are amazing. I was pretty excited. And I'm just loving this plane more and more and more. So I'm going to do some more flights with it and show you today a few little differences, a few little improvements. Well, they're major improvements, to be honest. They are big improvements. So I'm going to show you those as we fly today. Now, today we are taking a short to medium sort of range hop. It's not really as short as the other flights we've been doing in the 737. It's a little bit longer, but it's not really long haul. We're going from KMCI, Kansas City International, across to St. Louis. We're going to KSTL Lambert, St. Louis International, and that's around about 207 nautical miles. So we're going to take this baby out, warm up her legs, and we're going to give her a good stretch, okay? We're going to stretch her legs for 207 nautical miles. We're going to cruise at around 29,000 feet. So it is going to be awesome. A little bit clouds around today, a few little clouds around Kansas City. But once we get up to our cruising altitude, it's going to be lovely and sunny, and hopefully we'll get some stunningly, amazingly beautiful views. Okay, we're ready to get things started here. We're going to get the baggage loaded, the catering all set to go, because we do have a meal service on this flight. And we'll get everything fired up and started up in the cockpit, all the checklists and everything done, which my co-pilot is doing right now. We'll be doing very, very soon. So I'll get back to you when we're in the cockpit and we're all set to go. Okay, so we are in the cockpit here, and already I can see a big improvement. The resolution just seems a lot better. Everything's more sharp. Everything's more clear. The lines are sharper. And also, I'm sitting down a lot lower. So I really feel like I'm sitting at a 737. Before, the seat was too high. I was looking out over the dashboard. But now, the seat is a lot lower. And there didn't seem to be a way before of adjusting it. And I can prove I'm lower, because when I was taxiing before, or I used to be able to say, now look at the end of the windscreen wiper. Keep that on the white line when you're taxiing. And I know you're in the middle of the taxiway or runway. But now I cannot see the end of that windscreen wiper. And the windscreen wipers are actually working as well. You can turn on the windscreen wipers up here. And the windscreen wipers actually work. Bit of a tongue twister there. So I'm liking it, guys. I'm really liking it. I'm liking the graphics in this now. And I'm liking the fact I'm sitting lower. Now when I taxi and when I take off, you'll also notice some amazing improvements in the sound. You'll hear the wheels rolling, scrubbing against the tarmac, the rolling of the wheels. The cabin will be shaking, and you'll hear all the rattles and the shaking of the cabin when I take off and I reach high speeds on the runway, same as when I land. And it really is immersive. It really is nice. I mean, I really loved this plane before, but now I'm just liking it more and more every time I go to fly it. So it really is my favorite plane now, this one. A lot more of these switches are working too, I believe. And well, they are, because the windscreen wipers work, so those switches are working now. So there's a lot more switches working. The FMS is working. You can change to the different pages. You can program it and put things into it. You can put in your departure, your arrival. All those things can go into the FMS as well. I haven't played around with that yet. You know me, I'm a bit too simple to play around with those, but I am very tempted to get into this one and start programming it and putting in my my waypoints and my ILS landing and all sorts of things. I can start playing around with this quite happily. So let's get started and let's do our flight up over to St. Louis. There's a few of these rather dark, threatening clouds hanging around overhead, but I think once we're up above these clouds, it'll be, well, obviously it's going to be a lovely sunny day up above these clouds. So it might be a little bit bumpy heading up towards our cruise altitude, but for most of the flight it should be reasonably smooth, and it should be a nice day.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you haven't already done so, we request that you store your luggage and take your seats so we can have an on-time departure. For those passengers seated in a designated exit row, you may be called upon to open that exit in the event of an emergency. Please refer to the safety briefing card or the exit row information card located in the seat back pocket to ensure you meet the exit row criteria and understand the information. After carefully reviewing
Welcome aboard. Please fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal fitting into the buckle, and tighten the strap. To unfasten your belt, pull up on the buckle. Turbulence may occur unexpectedly, so keep your seatbelt fastened during the flight, even when the sign is not on. Cell phones, two-way pagers, and all other electronic devices should be off and stowed. In American Way magazine is a list of non-approved devices. Remember, cell phones and two-way pagers may never be used in flight. Tray tables and footrests should be secured and your carry-on luggage placed under the seat in front of you or in a storage compartment. Please bring your seats to the upright position for takeoff. It is a federal requirement to comply with crew member instructions and instructional signs. All flights are non-smoking. Smoking is prohibited in the lavatories. It is against federal law.
You'll notice here we've got the wings flexing. It was a big deal for some people. For me it wasn't a deal breaker, it didn't matter so much. But it is nice to finally see in this aircraft. We've got the wings flexing here as I taxi down the runway. Here again you can see it on the left hand side. If you look, you'll see the wings sort of bouncing and flexing a little bit. So major improvements in this aircraft. Here again, down the bottom of the screen, you can see it. Okay, so we will just hold short here of the runway while my co-pilot goes through the air traffic control and gets our clearance for departure. Meanwhile, I'll skip outside and do what I always do and check the moving surfaces are all good. Speed brakes and rudders all good. Yep. Come up here and let's just make sure we have our lights on, landing lights, taxi lights, strobe lights on, navigational lights will turn on, wing lights can go on, and that looks okay, and it sounds like we have clearance for departure now. We'll go in here, turn off the auto throttle for now. We'll turn that on a little bit later. Haven't been to St. Louis for a long time, not since I was playing Flight Simulator X. Or even then it wasn't long, so it'd probably be 2 to 3 years ago since I've been to St. Louis in Flight Simulator X. So it's going to be a very nice trip, a very nostalgic trip, and be interesting to see how it looks today in Flight Sim 2020. So really looking forward to this little flight. And this is the first time I've seen Kansas actually in Flight Simulator 2020. I hadn't seen it for a long time in Flight Sim X. Don't come to this neck of the woods very often, so very nice to see. Right, we're all clear to roll. Bring our throttle up. Release our brake. So we're going to climb and we're going to roll out to the right today. Now you can hear the sounds that are all improved. You can hear the wheels rumbling down the runway. Very soon you'll hear the cockpit shaking and everything rattling. Here we go. That's my false teeth vibrating. You can hear that now. Oh, we used up a lot of the runway there. Oh, we weren't clear to take off. Oh dear, sorry about that, buddy. Sorry about that, mate. Talked to my co-pilot about that. He must have gone to sleep, slacking on the job. I'll have words to him about that. That's not good. Okay, we're at 5,000 feet. Okay, we're going to go over to our autopilot here. Put on our LNAV, turn on our auto throttle, flight director. And autopilot engaged. Virtual speed, we're going to climb. About there, should be quite suitable. And we're going to head up to 10,000 feet initially. .200 knots, we can increase that, and we'll go to 240 knots. Below 10,000 feet, we need to stay under 250 knots. A little bit of turbulence as we come up through these clouds, but once we're up above these, we should be smooth sailing, I think. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So, St. Louis International, here we come.
Once you reach a comfortable cruising altitude, ladies and gentlemen, the flight attendants will be in the cabin and offer you a cocktail beverage of your choice, along with breakfast. There are 5 flight attendants on board today, primarily for your safety. If there's anything we can do to make your trip more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. So we'd like you to sit back and relax.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight. And we're about at our cruise altitude.
Well, good day, ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck. We're level at our cruise altitude, so I'm going to turn off the seatbelt sign at this time. So you're free to move about as necessary. However, when seated, we would like you to keep your seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. We just checked the weather and expect smooth sailing for most of the flight. So for the most part, we're going to stay quiet and let you enjoy the entertainment and service, and we'll be talking with you later on the...
Attention all passengers, we will be serving our in-flight meal shortly with your choice of red or white wine. Please return to your seats so that we may serve you more easily. Enjoy your meal.
Now we are down to 2,900 feet, and we are approaching our final approach. Our speed is sitting at 207 knots, so we got plenty of time to bring our speed down a little bit more. Just enjoying the lovely landscapes here at St. Louis, or pretty close to St. Louis. Just no mountains or hills, but just beautifully flat. A lot of farming area and crops and paddocks. Just beautiful. Lovely scenery. So we're at 2,900 feet, 200 knots. No need to slow down more as yet. I just came down through a few clouds, a couple of big black dark clouds, and I could hear the rain pelting on the plane. Hear the rain hitting the plane as I come down through there. 100% the sounds really have improved, and I feel like, and it sounds like I'm in a 737 now, which is really nice. And these displays are just really sharp, really clear and really sharp. Really am enjoying this plane now, and I'm glad I just didn't look at it for 10 minutes and throw it away when it first came out. I'm glad I sort of gave it a chance, tried it, stuck with it, and just kept working with it until everything was working well for me. And now with the upgrades, it is turning into quite a nice 737, I have to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we request that you start all your electronic devices until we are safely parked at the gate. We also ask that you extinguish all smoking materials. In final preparation for landing, please make sure your seat backs are straight up, your tray tables are stowed, and any carry-on luggage you may have brought on board with you is underneath the seat in front of you or in an overhead bin. The flight attendants will be passing through the cabin one last time to do their final compliance check and pick up any remaining cups and glasses.
Flight attendants, prepare for landing, please.
Right, gear down, check, and locked. That looks lovely. Beautiful. Start bringing our flaps down. There we go. The diamond has turned solid. Started to come down now. So we get ready to push the approach hold mode. And we will be all set for a beautiful landing. My landings have been pretty shocking, to be honest. I need to work on that. So here is my chance to try and improve. Previously, before this last update, you could never hear the flaps. Okay, approach mode on and locked. You could never hear the flaps, but now you can hear the flaps. It's quite noisy after this upgrade with the sound. I quite like it, but it's just a bit loud, those flaps. I need to adjust. You'll notice that when I touch down on the runway, you'll get the wheels hitting the tarmac and the rattling and the shaking and all the noise. It sounds really quite good. It sounds like you're actually in a 737 now when you land. Everything's getting shaken around. It's you'll hear it, I tell you, you will hear it. But I'm liking it. The secret seems to be in when you turn off the autopilot, the auto throttle. And when you do that little flare so that you touch down nice and softly. And in the past I've done it at the wrong time and the plane sort of lifts up and looks like it's going to take off again. So today I'm really going to try a lot harder, see if I can do a nice gentle soft landing and not do too much flare so the plane wants to take off. It's quite tricky. It's a lot more difficult than it sounds. But here we go. We also get the voices calling out now, 100 our altitude as we get closer to the runway. Not a bad day here at 400. Not a bad day at St. Louis.
300.
Okay, let's turn it off.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
hear all that noise as I touched down. Oh, that was exciting. Oh, I thought the wings were falling off. That was drama. So immersive when you get all that sound when you hit the tarmac. It's fun. It's good. I'm liking this 737 now. They've done so many updates and upgrades. It's actually half decent now. Quite decent. Now, where do we taxi to? Taxi over there to the right. Quite a smooth landing, not too bad. I had to use the rudders a little bit. I think there was a little bit of a wind coming in. So I had to use the rudders to try and keep the plane straight. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, bring the flaps up. And welcome to St. Louis, everybody. I haven't been here for probably 8 years or so, since I was playing with Flight Sim X. I think the last time I was in St. Louis.
It's going to take the captain just a few moments to taxi to the gate, so we ask that you remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off and the aircraft has come to a complete stop at the gate. That will be your only indication that it's safe to get up and move about the cabin. We also ask that you keep the aisles clear of any carry-on baggage. This is the termination of our flight this morning, so we ask that you check the back pockets, closets, and overhead bins for any articles you may have brought with you. Extra care should be taken when opening the overhead bins, as heavy articles may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of your entire flight crew, it's been our pleasure serving you this morning. Have a pleasant stay.
Have a pleasant stay in St. Louis. And I look forward to seeing you back flying with KVM World Travel again one day. That would be great. Now, try and park and get my wheel in the right place. My passengers will be very happy. Not a bad day here in St. Louis. Okay, brake on. So that's it. Welcome to St. Louis. Thank you for coming along with KVM World Travel and our regional flight series with our 737 MAX. And you're welcome to load the flight plan, the one that I put up at the beginning of the video. Load up your favorite plane and fly along with us. Help me out, transport a few customers, a few passengers from A to B, and let's keep this airline going. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Feel free to make a comment, any suggestions in regards to helping me improve my piloting skills. There's probably enough to fill a book, but if you have a chance, make a comment if you enjoyed the video. Stay safe, guys, and I will talk to you again soon. Ciao.